Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about, can't tell you how many times people call or order from the wrong location. Restaurant worker reveals why Doordash orders don't get delivered. Now, in the eyes of most Dashers, the reason why orders don't get delivered is specifically because they don't tip their drivers. And honestly, I feel like that could be obvious, but from a restaurant's perspective, it can be very different. So with that said, I do want to see what she is trying to say about why there are so many orders not delivered, how it actually is for gig workers and customers, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. A restaurant worker in Texas shared reasons why your Doordash order probably wasn't delivered. In a viral TikTok video, user Loudsav stands in front of a pizza rack explaining why a customer may have not received their order. First of all, I'm going to leave her TikTok as well as her profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. But honestly, I'm kind of confused because I thought that restaurants and DoorDash drivers were kind of on the same page with this. Most of the time, the reason why the DoorDash orders aren't being delivered is because their customers just aren't tipping. DoorDash, they marked it that they picked it up and never picked it up, TikToker explains. She then places her hand on an order with 2 pizzas, sharing how they called the wrong location and that the location is Waco, they called Austin. She then pulls out a pizza and 2 bags, stating that it was a server error. In the text overlay, the creator wrote, "POV, you're my boss and I'm explaining why these orders are left over." This is actually confusing to me because yes, I've heard of things like this happening. I mean, how many times have you ended up passing a Chipotle after you picked up a Chipotle on your way to a customer? But that said, I am confused on why they believe that there was a server error and they picked it up in the wrong location. That is weird to me. And how does that even happen on DoorDash's front? Like, there's some server error so the order gets bounced into another place? I feel like I need some tech guy to tell me the answer to this. In a comment, the creator shared the name of the pizza place she works at and the location. New York style thin crust pizza at Barris, but it's really in Flungerville? In another comment, she says the location is Barris Fine Italian Cuisine. Alright, let's get the facts straight. Any pizza that's not from New York isn't actually New York pizza. Let's get that fact out right now. And apparently this order was sent here instead of Waco. Like, I don't know how far away that is in, like, Texas time. Like, how long would it take a driver to pick up from there instead of where he was? I don't know. I don't think it is that much closer. In fact, I would actually gamble that it's probably farther away. I just never seen this happen. The video racked up over 381,000 views since it was posted on September 25th, resonating with viewers. Many of them shared their experiences with ordering food from the wrong location. The things you do for content, huh? Now, it's one thing if the customer made the decision on their own to order from a Chipotle or a Panera or a McDonald's that they thought was closer but was actually further away. That is 100% possible. However, I've never seen it described as a server error. Usually, it's because it's the customer sent it to the wrong location, or they like that particular store instead of the one that's nearest them. I've seen that too. One time, my phone auto-corrected and I accidentally sent my Taco Bell order a whole state over, one user shared. That explains why there are so many orders that are out of state. That's a server error I can get. Have you ever seen an order that was like, holy crap, you want me to drive 200 and some odd miles to pick up from McDonald's and then drop it off to this customer? Yeah, you're tripping, son. So I guess I could see it like that, but I've never seen it otherwise. I work at Chipotle, and the amount of times we get people trying to pick up at the wrong location is so funny. A second recount. I have never seen a driver picking up at the wrong location. I've only seen customers sending the order to the wrong location. I've never once been sent to a location to where they were sent an order in a different area. That just never happened. One time, a restaurant actually tried to play it off as such, but I caught them in a lie and caught them being irresponsible just because they didn't want to actually do their job. I've never seen it to where it was an entirely different location by the mistake of Doordash. That's never happened. At least to me. I once called New York Papa John's and ordered a pizza. The delivery driver was like, I can't find your address, a third road. It was the same name as my town and a similar zip code. Actually, I have seen that, to where they put the wrong address and the town is right, but the zip code isn't, so it ends up being in another state. Like, that's crazy. When I lived in New York, there was Levittown, New York, and then there was Levittown, Pennsylvania. In Florida, there's Hollywood, Florida, and then there's Hollywood in California. And I'm sure there's another, I just can't remember it. So that, I wouldn't be too surprised if that actually happened. Someone called me and said they called the wrong place, and I was silent for like 10 seconds. I didn't know what to say. Then I was just like, another set. I've seen that, to where they're calling in, and not DoorDash, but they're calling the restaurant themselves. They are trying to get a specific location to where they can pick up the order from, except they called the wrong location by accident. That doesn't happen often, but it has happened. Other viewers were curious about what Loudsav did with the leftover pizza. For restaurants, they either throw it out, send it home with the workers, or they just give it to the homeless. You get to take them home, one person asked. What do y'all do with the food? Another wrote. The TikToker responded in the comments saying, I ate it. What you mean, LOL? I split it up between the co-workers. I mean, I ain't wasting pizza. I'll tell you that right now. Recently, DoorDash drivers have been in hot water. One driver went off on a customer in a series of messages and placed the customer's Chick-fil-A order in a tree on the other side of their apartment complex. Another DoorDash driver allegedly fat-shamed a customer in the know. I have actually made videos on both of those incidents. I will leave them in the description. Feel free to check it out. But DoorDash drivers have not been in hot water, to be clear. The fat shaming customer was not even the DoorDash driver, it was Dashmart. And the driver that put the Chick-fil-A in a tree, yeah, that's his fault. But again, more details in the videos. Honestly, I'm a little annoyed that they actually threw DoorDash drivers as a whole under the bus. It was two people. One of them is not even actually the DoorDash driver. That's just slander right there. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. I'm genuinely impressed with how calm she is about the situation. I mean, yeah, she ended up winning at the end of the day. She got free food. Overall, usually these restaurants are like, oh, the driver's terrible. The driver's evil. The customer was stupid. No, this time, DoorDash had a glitch or the customer made a mistake. I would actually go as far as saying that the writer of this article ended up being more ridiculous about the whole situation than she was. And she wasn't even being ridiculous at all. It was actually pretty chill of her. I'm glad to see when these people go viral. It's not attacking one side. It's not telling people that they're terrible or whatever, or acting like the victim. It's, hey, I'm explaining why these orders are left over because this actually happens. And it's not a particular attack towards any individual, maybe the corporation, maybe a little bit onto customers. Overall, make sure before you place any order on DoorDash or you even pick up an order that you know where you're ordering from and you don't end up taking an order from one location to 200 miles away, because I sincerely doubt you'll ever be tipped enough to justify that kind of trip. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!